the rules never really are new. I think that we all seem to think that when we get these aberrations in an economy or a certain market, that new rules get created. And I personally believe that although the rules change a bit, it's much more about the rules stay the same, but you see aberrations, and we tend to react very strongly to these aberrations, whether it was the boom and bust cycle of 1999 and then the early aughts, or an economic meltdown that we see today. So I think that when it comes to financing, there is a lot of changes there. I think that speed has become incredibly more important, and the ability to get a product to market now with open source software, with the ability to outsource or crowdsource, allows you to get a product built before financing in many cases now, especially if you come from a technical bent. So I think that not having a product, at least to demo, or at least something that you can start putting out to the market before financing, is a really difficult thing to do, especially in this market. But it's something I would recommend finding ways to do it, if at all possible, prior to taking your first institutional round of financing. Think on the building software, that is where I would argue that the rules have changed a lot, and that there's so many opportunities for crowdsourcing now, whether you're using open source or more collaboratively using a community to help you build your product or your content or your combination of tools and content. It doesn't matter. There's so many examples now of companies that have successfully used collaboration and crowdsourcing in order to build an asset that I think you must consider that in this day and age. At a bare minimum, really use your community and use your customer base in order to help you identify that product. And lastly, selling the product. I think that this is particularly where the rules haven't changed, and I predict it's going to be difficult for the rules to ever truly change in this context. I think the biggest mistake that most companies make here is that they don't measure. When you ask most companies, how do you measure the success of your selling? Their answer is, well, by bookings. It stops right there. And there are so many ways to measure a sales process before you actually get to the booking side of it. And I think most companies really fail to do that. And I believe that selling is the one place where you can really use numbers to make hard-nosed decisions about how to invest and how to move it. In other words, the numbers are all there. Too many people just don't use them to make informed decisions.